Hello guys, and welcome to the 5th video of my series on how it feels to play different Forsaken characters. Today, I'm covering Taph. So, who is Taph? Taph is the man responsible for demolishing all the banned users' homes. He thinks he's Builderman's right-hand man, but Builderman is scared of him. He also only communicates using emojis. How does he play? Taph is a support survivor who uses his abilities to stun and snow the killer. Taph is played sort of like a turtling NG in TF2. He finds a place to stay, and then he sets up traps there to keep him and anyone with him there safe. His abilities are as follows. 1. Tripwire. Taph lays down a tripwire that when the killer steps on, activates, giving the killer slowness 2 for 4 seconds and revealing their aura for 8 seconds to all survivors in a 100 stud radius of Taph. 2. Subspace Trip Mine. This one is more complicated. When the killer gets within 16 studs of it, it detonates after 0.4 seconds. And they get Helpless 1 for 5 seconds. The trip mine reveals itself slightly every 13 seconds. If Taph is surrounding the trip mine as it explodes, he will get Subspace 3 as well. The mine can also be detonated through the intervention of attackers from the killer used on it. If the killer hits the mine prior to it detonating, the mine inflicts a lesser effect of Subspace 1 with no Helpless 1. If the mine isn't activated in 50 seconds, it explodes naturally. If the mine successfully hits, the cooldown is reduced by 10 seconds. That's all fine and dandy, but how does it feel to play Taph? Well, let me show you. Alright. So in this clip, I'm walking around looking for a good place to set up my traps. I walk into the same place I was in the clip where I was speaking. Then, I use it to go and cover the largest radius. This is quite useful to do as Taph, because covering the largest radius usually makes it so the killer has a harder time seeing the 2 spikes. I run past and I'm looking for another place to place my tripwire. I realize that the killer could probably walk through here using shift lock, but I decide otherwise. I throw down my tripwire over there, and then I follow this guest a little. I run around looking for a place, and I realize that generator has already been done. I quickly use my tripwire to cover up that space. Now, my strategy here is to build out, so I cover all of the different entrances here. So the killer, in theory, will get hit 4 different times with this. I emote a bit while waiting for the killer to do something, and nothing really happens. I throw out a subspace trip mine, and then I set up the final one. It's not in the best space, but it could be better. I then try and get this cool kid's attention, but realize that I probably won't. I head over here with the 007 and 7, and I think about doing the gen, but then I don't. I realize that the guest that was running from him is now dead. I run inside, back to my traps. And then I wait here for a while. Nothing else really happens. Now this is what a good Taph match feels like. You should feel safe with your traps, and you should feel like the killer won't be able to get you. I get hit a bit, and then I run back, throw one last trip mine out, and then it's over.